So I'm introducing Scott, and Scott works in pediatrics, you guys. You want to give an ear to what this man is going to share with us. A wonderful human, and welcome, Scott.
And well organized. Hi. It's hard to follow Kelly. She's one of the most amazing people I've ever met. I was driving home from work and a mom texted me, and every day I spend all day talking to moms and dads with question after question about what we're doing and what they should be able to expect for their kids and their health. Sorry. And so this mom texted me and she asked if I could stop by this group and just see what I thought about it. And it was Kelly. And I texted my wife and she's like, "Where are you going? Are you coming home? Is it okay? Is it safe?" And I'm not supposed to be here. My wife's terrified. I'm essential. I remember when this all started, my son came up to me and said, "Dad, are you essential?" And it's not funny, right? It broke my heart. He just asked me if I was essential. Like, according to who? I thought. Like, how do I explain that to my son, that they're asking if I have value and worth? And what is it that's taking it away? So do we break it down to a cold? Like, it's a virus. It's horrible. My father-in-law works in ER med. He's 78 years old. He's seen people die. It's horrible. It's brutal. And we know mercifully who the vast majority of the people that are susceptible or statistically, I don't like talking about it, because when you talk about death, mortality, no one is insignificant. Every life is valuable and sacred. There isn't like, oh, it's okay because they're older, they're sick already. No, it's horrible. But I get calls every day about a mom finding something in her daughter's diary and talk of self-harm or visits, because I'm open. Well, I'm still open right now. I probably won't be on Monday, but I don't make people wear masks. I hug moms, I hold babies, we screen people on the phone before they come in, but I don't want to foment fear. I want to be smart. Like, I've spent, I don't know, 100 hours. I haven't really slept in about 5 days trying to figure out if I should do this. And then I just have to show you this because it's hilarious. I got a sticky note. Jenny Daly, can you give her a call? Hi, Amy. Yeah. Like, moms, holy cow, y'all are insane. Like, awesome people. Like, I just keep getting bombarded, and they're like, "Scott, will you do something? Just say something." Like, you talk to us one at a time, and it matters. And no one's, like, we keep hearing the cure can't be worse than the disease. Well, that started about 6 weeks ago, that the cure was evidently and statistically worse than the disease. And I just prepare, like, I have all this stuff. It doesn't matter. We know. Like, we actually know. I'm just sitting here furiously writing, and I've met with 15 different providers. I've spent hours talking through these things, and none of it makes sense. I go back to the CDC during the novel swine flu. This novel swine flu that was really bad, and children died. Healthy adolescents and adults died, and the CDC said to have a significant impact on global health, do not return to school and do not return to work within 24 hours of having a fever. After you've been fever-free for 24 hours, go back to school and go back to work, and if you are sick, wear a mask. I'm like, wow, that's really smart, right? And it went from that to a certain doctor saying that this is a cold and we don't need to worry, and that the typical people that should be worried about or that are at risk for influenza and pneumonia, obviously you have to be safe and take precautions. And it went from that to no arenas, to no gatherings larger than 500, to no gatherings larger than 200, then 100, then 50, then 10, then 6 feet of separation, then shelter in place. So how do I go to the CDC website and get any information when they have no idea what they're putting out? I mean, that's what they're telling me when they can't figure out from one day to the next. Then it says talk to your primary care, talk to your pediatrician. So people come talk to me, and what do I tell them? Go outside, but the parks are closed. Open them, and like Kelly, I talked to a mom. She's like, I don't know what to do. I have 6 kids. We live in an apartment. I'm like, go outside, go to the park, but it's closed. I'm like, there's a chain. Step over it. Like, your kids have to play. And we shouldn't be cheering that, right? That's insane that I say something normal, right? I'm saying something normal. Mom, go outside with your kids and play in the park, but somebody told me I couldn't. I'm like, who? The news. Well, shut it off. Shut off the news. It's stupid. And guess what? So it was, who said that? Dr. Drew Pinsky said that, and the next day offered his most humble apologies to everyone he said that to, because the people that are sponsoring his show were angry. So he basically said, I apologize, follow whatever CDC says, listen to everything Dr. Fauci says, call your governor. What? So I don't know what the heck I'm doing here. Except I was the one that was telling moms to take your kids outside and go play. And if the cops show up, I told them, call my office. Here's a number. Like, Kelly, I mean, watching Kelly, Trina, Becky, Jenny, like, it's, my wife kept saying to me, Scott, you can't do this. Like, you've struggled so hard to create a viable business. You're doing so much good. And I'm like, how can I not just say something to more than one mom at a time, or more than one dad at a time? And I could talk for 2 hours on the statistics. What, 0.0001 fatalities in children 0 to 9, 10 to 19. They're gonna send our kids to school with masks on. What? How much of our communication is nonverbal? 90-some%. These kids will never see a smile at school. So now you have occupational therapy, physical therapy, speech therapy, counseling. I see all these kids that are on the spectrum, and they need a lot of care. It's critical for them. So now in many states we've got more suicides than COVID mortality. What? It's weird that it's the only word in our lexicon anymore. COVID. I'm like, how about my daughter being able to get her OT? Do they care about her? I don't know. Like, everything is elective and no longer valuable. And anyway, it hurts my heart to see every day all these kids that are not given value anymore, that their needs are superseded by fear. And it's inculcating fear in so many families that they're like, well, if I go outside, my neighbor could tell on me. And I'm like, you have a shitty, it's all right, you have a horrible neighbor. Your neighbor's horrible. I'm so sorry. It just get told on. Like, we need to undo fear for our kids. I'm seeing it every day, and it's breaking my heart, and I'm angry. I'm so angry at what this is doing to our families. And anyway, I'm just very humbled by Trina, and thank you for bringing me into this mess of awesomeness. And Becky, I don't even know these people. She called me. She's like, "Hey, Scott, do you have time to talk?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, an hour and a half later, I'm like, "Who are you? Like, who the heck are you doing? Like, you guys, it's amazing." And so anyway, it's like, every time I hear things will never be normal, we'll not be able to shake hands anymore or hug, or all I could think of is that just sounds sinful to tell people that we should not be able to do the thing that we were created to do, which was gather and be together and share and communicate and contact. That's like do an MRI of somebody that smiles versus frowns. I mean, we know how important it is to be in communion, and for kids, like, on no planet ever will I send my child to school with a mask on. It will never, ever, ever happen. It will never happen. I won't let my, Shelly. I strongly advise her not to go to Costco, because I don't want her wearing a mask, because if anyone sees her and knows that she's connected with me, then it means that I somehow think that that's keeping her safe, but that's not what they're saying. It's keeping somebody else safe. So specifically from the guidelines and the Washington Health Guidelines, the mask is to keep others safe. Okay, then just put it out there. If you're worried, then stay home. If you're worried, stay home. If you're scared that somebody else has to wear a mask for your mortality, then hide in fear, and we will go about our business and live freely. I'm going to stop. I could ramble on forever about this. Thank you all for showing up, and I had to have somebody drive me here, because if they didn't, I probably wouldn't have come. So, thank you, Jerry. Anyway, you guys are awesome. I know I'm supposed to talk more about, you know what? No, so I've been talking to schools, and this is not local, even remotely, but this was a mom who's also a principal. I wanted to share with you my thoughts as a school teacher on how this is impacting our society. Most importantly, it is impacting children, mental health, social progress, especially those on individualized education programs, the connections and of course academics. Nevertheless, the time kids are at home, they are being neglected, even by working parents such as myself. We have had a hard time managing children and professional responsibilities as well. I have heard from families that kids are really sad, and they are really worried, and it is getting worse. Staff, I am concerned that staff are not getting what they need in terms of self-care. Yes, they are being paid. Yes, they have work, thank goodness. Yes, they have support, mostly via distance. Nevertheless, they have worries for their children. Staff cannot connect and plan as they used to. Teachers are left to teach from afar, and that is not why we went into teaching. They help kids by smiling at them, laughing, lending a pat on the back, hugs, teaching in community circles, high fives, and a host of other physical methods. Humans crave touch and to feel they are a part of something. School systems, we were meant to be together. How can we remediate learning if kids cannot leave their immediate teacher? Students on learning plans, in reading groups, math support, or in special programs are missing out. Kids need recess, not to do jumping jacks at their seats. They need to learn how to walk in lines to the cafeteria. Kids need to learn voice control in the gym. Children need to use teachers' faces and learn social gestures. At the same time, we need to exercise basic caution. In my opinion, we should be sensible about it, especially with sensitive staff members and students who may not fare well with the virus. Clean hand washing, but not overkill on the sanitizer. Germs are good. Take that from a kindergarten teacher, who was me, who grew her immune system the hard way. I love this mom. No information can be given about her because she'll be fired. If this information, if this is her recommendation, she'll be fired. That's her fear. That's insane that somebody with her background and experience that has taught for that long can't make sensible recommendations for the people she is in charge of organizing and managing, etc. She's the one that's supposed to make those recommendations, and she said it comes down from on high, and if we don't do this, if I say anything out of that script, she's like, I'll lose my job.
Welcome to the Soviet Union.
So thank you.